with movies and TV shows these days, isn't it? How many movies do we see that are adaptations of older movies that we saw years ago? And how many TV shows are revived similarly? Certainly on TV right now, we have reimagined conceptions of The Odd Couple, One Day at a Time, and even Full House, believe it or not. But one show that has captured my attention lately has been the reinvented version of To Tell the Truth. Now, To Tell the Truth originated in 1958 with Bud Collyer as the host, and did you know that Mike Wallace from 60 Minutes actually hosted that show in the beginning? The show features one person who has done an extraordinary feat, from climbing Mount Everest to rescuing somebody from a burning building. This person's story is told complete with the details of their amazing feat. They're joined by two imposters, who pretend that they are the heroic ideal whose story we just heard. A panel of B-list celebrities is on hand to listen to the three contenders and try to determine which one of these three is telling the truth. By the end of the round, the person whose story is at the center of debate is encouraged to stand up, and their true identity is revealed. Their true selves, which emerged when confronted by the challenges of their story, were revealed, and they are lifted up for what they have accomplished in life. The pretenders are also revealed as they tell their stories about who they really are. By the end, everyone's true self is revealed, and the judges have to reflect on whether or not they were able to figure out which one was telling the truth. One aspect of the show is intriguing. The person whose story is being told is the only person who is sworn to really tell the truth. They have to answer all questions truthfully. The other two aren't under any constraints to be truthful. They can make up whatever they want, tell whatever stories they want. So if the panel asks the right question, the bond to answer truthfully can reveal to them the true character of the title person. The people who are obliged to lie have no such vulnerability. They play the game safely under the shadow and the mask of obscurity as they lie about who they are, what they have done, and the circumstances of their actions. The person who is telling the truth is much more vulnerable by virtue of their pact of honesty. How reflective this is of everyday life. Revealing our true selves can be comforting and freeing, unburdening ourselves from the masks that we put on every day. But revealing our true selves can also be frightening and challenging. Revealing our true selves makes us vulnerable to ridicule, criticism, and judgment. Revealing our true selves often gives others ammunition to use against us, if they so choose, and tears down the security that we build up against other people. Revealing our true selves lets others in to comfort us when we don't want comfort, to counsel us when we don't want counseling, and to challenge us when we are just wanting to rest. Revealing our true selves can also be a tedious journey of self-reflection, exhausting ourselves emotionally, for we don't know who we are until we begin to ask the right questions. But I have to believe that part of knowing who we are and having the confidence to reveal that to the world rests in our understanding of our identity as children of God. When we are able to make that spiritual connection and truly accept that we are beloved children of God, no matter who we are or where we are in life's journey, we come a long way with being comfortable in our own skin, and we come a long way towards understanding who we truly are. Our true selves are revealed first and foremost to us, and that revelation comes about when we truly understand and accept our relationship with God. But in our world, we try to structure our identity separate from God, and then try to fit God into that identity, the worldly masks we create. We try to say we are all of these other things first, and then we are Christian. But we are always Christian first. We are always God's children first. That's what is revealed in our scriptures today. In both our Old Testament and our New Testament lessons, we hear of people climbing mountains to commune with God. And as they did so, their old identities were stripped away and new identities were revealed. It's a bit harder to see that in our Old Testament lesson without reading the rest of the story. Garrett only read 6 verses there, but that story is actually 10 chapters long. In that full story, aren't you glad you didn't have to read 10 chapters, Garrett? Yeah? In that full story, Moses climbs Mount Sinai to commune with God, and God gives Moses the relationship contract. Just like Big Bang Theory, the relationship contract, right? But this relationship contract is from God in the form of commandments. Moses comes down from the mountain and finds that the people have constructed a golden calf instead, turning their back on God. Moses, infuriated, smashes the commandments, smashes them, and crushes the golden calf to powder, and forces the people to drink that golden powder of the golden calf. Did you know that? Check it out in Exodus 32, verse 20, if you don't believe me. But in the end, Moses climbs the mountain once more, and once more receives commandments from God. God's covenant is restored, and by the end of chapter 34, Moses comes down from Mount Sinai transformed. Like Jesus in the New Testament lesson, Moses' face is shining. He was transformed into something more, and his true self was revealed. So today is Transfiguration Sunday, the day we celebrate Jesus' transfiguration on a similar mountain, the New Testament lesson that Garrett read. This is the last Sunday before Lent begins. Lent starts Wednesday with Ash Wednesday. And during this Lenten journey, we will have a chance to examine our journey with Jesus a bit more closely. But today we hear about Jesus being transformed, an act that will lead him to Jerusalem and crucifixion. In this story, Jesus' true self was revealed. No longer just a rabbi, no longer just a prophet, no longer just a wise man, but the Son of God. Jesus' true self was revealed, but so were the true selves of the disciples. They still didn't get it. Instead of seeing the divinity of Jesus in the moment, Peter talks about making a house for Jesus and Moses and Elijah. Talk about an earthly concern. His mind still couldn't grasp the grandeur of the divine encounter he was experiencing. His identity as one who falls short of God's promises is revealed. And yet, despite the fact that Peter once again falls short, Jesus later gives him the responsibility of sharing the good news of God's love with everyone. Of all who walked with Jesus, none exemplified Christ's message of love, grace, acceptance, and affirmation of everyone more than Peter did. Peter was the rock on which the Christian church was built, despite the revelation today of his true self as one who just doesn't get it. As Moses and Jesus both climbed the mountain and got closer to God, they communed with God in holy places, and their identities were revealed. That set the course for the rest of their ministries. We have the same opportunity today to find our true selves apart from the masks we wear to play into the conformities of the world. But in order to do so, we need to climb a mountain. So mountains are symbolic in Jewish wisdom literature, which is what the Bible is. They stand for a journey towards the divine. In order to get closer to God, we all have symbolic mountains to climb. We all have journeys to make. The mountain trek is achieved through prayer, through study, through reflection, and most of all, through intentional time spent with God. God didn't tap Moses and Jesus on the shoulder with a message of relationship while they were in a business meeting, while they were shopping at Walmart or playing the latest video games. God transformed them when they made time for God, when they intentionally climbed a mountain, journeying up the mountain to dedicate themselves to God's glory. When they dedicated themselves to God, they were transformed, and their true selves, their true identity as God's children was revealed. I've been saying it for months. If you try to fit God into your life, you will never have time for God. But if you fit your life into God, you will always have time for what matters. This is true. God will never fit into your life, and God will never put on the mask that you don to be a worldly creature of conformity. But if we fit our lives into God, then everything else falls into place. God is waiting for all of us to transform us, to reveal our true selves. All we have to do is climb the mountain. So let's start climbing. Amen.